Well, I understand that that there's different points of view here, and I think this is a really fascinating opportunity for us to understand that there's differences of how we look at things. These are they're protests and they're statements of feelings and expressions of freedom of speech that can be taken as however you want to take it. It's hard for everybody to see everybody's view, but because we don't have the skills of that empathy calls for, to understand somebody has something to say, and empathy would call on us to listen and to not pass judgment, and then whether or not you want to demonstrate compassion by working to try to help their situation, that's what's at stake right here. And I don't think it's been so directed at just the flag or just law enforcement or other thoughts. That's not at all what the players are expressing. They're expressing freedom of speech and expression, and they have a lot to say, and they're skilled at what they want to say and what they stand for. And I'd like to say too that our players are they're in a very fortunate situation. It has nothing to do with how much money they make. They're in a position where they can speak out and they can hopefully create change and get their points of view out there that are designed to help people. And this isn't about that the kind of salaries they make. They're very fortunate to be where they are, and they know it, and they have the courage to stand up and speak out. And that's not being recognized as much as we would like. It's more polarized in that. So we understand why people are upset about it, but it is not about denigration of the flag or the country or anything that stands for. It's not about that at all. It's about trying to get your feelings out and your ideas across, and protest just by the nature of the word, and not everybody will agree, and that's why it's protest. And so I think it's extraordinary that this is happening. I think it's a moment that we all can learn what we want to learn out of this, but I hope we learn about empathy, to listen and to come to an understanding of what somebody else feels without passing judgment. And it doesn't mean you're going to agree. That's okay. That's okay. And then hopefully, like I said, the compassion part of it will come about in proper manner, and there will be action taken, there will be movement made, and we will come to understand more. So I think it's hard. It's hard, but it's good. And
Pete, regarding that, on the Saturday meetings, I understand everyone wanted to try to get to a place where there could be a unified response. But what do you say to those who are Trump supporters in the locker room about sublimating their position for the greater good?
Directly, what I did is I hugged them, talked to them, and express that appreciate where they're coming from and what they feel, and with no other thought but to accept them, exactly what I'm talking about realizing they have every right in the world to feel like what they feel, and they had a choice to make, and they had a choice to do what they wanted to do, and they decided to stay with the team. And that was a hard decision for a few guys, and I totally understand that. And so one of the things that our players have that a lot of people outside in the outside world don't have is they know what it is to be on a team, and they know what it is to work for a common cause and to make the sacrifices, that it calls to be in a team setting. Our guys are skilled at that understanding, and it's important to them, and so they know that there's times when you're acting on the good of the group rather than what is fit for you personally, and that's about the sacrifice that you make for the good of the group, and that's what that was about. And I think it was powerful in that, probably more so than almost anything, that they were willing to do that, and we loved them up and hugged them up, and we're grateful for them and for their